call the meeting to order at 6:01. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
I will
So-
make a motion to go into executive session, but I gotta get out of this first.
Okay, technical difficulties. I second the motion. Roll call vote.
Maureen Dwinell, aye.
Laura Heb, aye. Unanimous.
Okay, we'll see you on the other side.
So I'd like to resume our regular meeting. 3A, acceptance of donation from ESS.
Okay, so
Go.
within the board's packet, there's a memo from our ESS director requesting the select board accept the unsolicited gift of 10 $30 Market Basket gift cards totaling $300 from an anonymous donor.
Do I hear a motion?
I
Maureen?
move that we approve or accept the donations from the ESS and on the $10 30 tickets to Market Basket.
I second. All in favor, roll call vote.
Maureen Dwinell, aye.
Laura Heb, aye. Unanimous.
So now I know what you meant when you said I couldn't get into my email
Ah,
to pull up the motions.
Yeah,
well, I can make the motions from now on. That would,
yeah, that's the easiest.
I'll do that. Okay, next up is execution of amendment to contract administration for 140 water sewer. Dennis, how are you tonight?
Hey, how's it going?
Lovely.
Good evening.
Good to see you.
Dennis.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to see me tonight. So before the board, you have Ty and Bond's proposal for their construction administration contract. This is for the Route 140 water and wastewater extension project, including the culvert crossing with MassDOT and the construction of the pump station. So this is one of the larger projects we've done in town. I mean, this is next to the tip project of Hartford Ave North, High Street and Hopkinton Road, which took over 3.5 years and was $11 million. This is the largest project that I've done in the 8 years that I've been here. So this is a considerable contract, and there's a lot of assumptions put into this contract that allows for some consideration should we actually need the services, and hopefully we don't need all of them. So this contract represents up to a certain amount of money, hoping that we don't hit ledge, hoping that the project doesn't get extended, and hoping that our communications with MassDOT go smoothly and we don't need any extra services or unforeseen services that are not listed in this contract. So for the boards this evening, I ask that you grant the town manager authorization to enter into the contract. As you know, the construction part has already been awarded to GEG. They are mobilizing as we speak, putting up erosion control and beginning to mobilize. And so this allows Ty and Bond to put all of their experts out there. Keep in mind, we saved almost $1.5 million on this project by not doing controlled density fill, flowable fill. And in doing such, we have to have a certified inspector who's an engineer on site when they do the backfill and compaction to certify all the compactions. So there's a lot more oversight in this contract that we would normally not have to do if we had done controlled density, but it's at a substantial cost savings. Other than that, I'll answer any questions the board may have.
Maureen, do you have any questions?
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
I would agree. So hearing no further discussion, I'd move that the board vote to authorize the town manager to sign amendment number 2 of the construction administration contract for the Governor's Landing Utility Project.
I'll second.
All in favor, roll call vote.
Maureen Dwinell, aye.
Laura Heb, aye. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Dennis.
Okay.
It's a lot of work and we appreciate everything you've done with us.
Thank you.
Most
Had a lot of
welcome.
help.
And next is the town manager report.
Really just briefly, because I'm just getting back from a week's vacation. Everything is town meeting prep. Going over motions, making sure all the logistics are taken care of. Four of us looking over Sue's shoulders as we're learning the software for electronic voting. So this is all crunch time for Thursday.
Okay. I know we can do it. We got a great team. Anybody who stops into town hall will see us running around, but we actually know what we're doing. Okay, so next would be public input or a board member update. I would like to recognize Glenn Fowler. Glenn is stepping off of the, he's not running again for cemetery commission. Glenn started his volunteer work with the town of Upton in 1996, or that's as far back as we could find in the town reports. He started as a cable TV advisory committee member. He went on to be the access provider for the cable TV. He was assessor of taxes from 2001 to 2015. And most recently was on cemetery commission from 2014 to 2025. That's 29 years of service to this town. And I saw him today and I told him, congratulations, enjoy your retirement. And he informed us he's not going anywhere just yet. So there may be more in him, but, you know, to have somebody give us almost 30 years is a true honor and it speaks to his devotion to the time. So I'd like to just publicly thank Glenn for all of his years of service.
I would also want to say the same. He's put a lot of years in and he's devoted a lot of time to the town. And I hope
It is,
he enjoys
go ahead,
his
Maureen.
retirement.
Yeah, I hope he enjoys it. And as I say, I don't think any of us do this for the fame or the fortune because you really don't receive either, but it's truly because you care about the town and I appreciate it. All right, on to number 6, licensing. Rushford. We have a 1-day beer license.
We have our sort of annual slate of 1-day beer license from Rushford. There's a total of, I think it was 7 dates that they're looking at, ranging from starting June 25th and ending August 6th, all to be down at Kiwanis Beach for their summer concert series. The police chief and the fire chief have already signed off on these licenses.
Okay, Maureen, do you have any questions?
Not at all. This is done every year.
Exactly. Okay, I move that the select board vote to approve the application submitted by Rushford and Sons, owner operator by Brian Goodman for a special 1-day wine and malt only pouring license for an event or a series of events to be held on June 25th, July 2nd, July 9th, July 16th, July 23rd, July 30th, and August 6th, 2025, under Mass General Law, Chapter 138, subsection 14, to be held at Kiwanis Beach in Upton, Massachusetts.
A second,
All in favor, roll call vote.
Maureen Dwinell, I.
Laura have I, unanimous. Okay. So now we are on to the dog bylaw amendment article discussion, and Mr. Moran is with us.
Would have been nice to meet you sooner, the last minute here,
Uh,
you know,
Um,
how do you guys, how do you read that article? I see problems how I read it personally.
okay, we went over this before. We brought in Maria.
Yeah.
Now you're here. I spoke to Dennis in the meantime.
Yeah.
I don't think we can, what I'd like to do is pass over this article entirely and take it up in November. I don't think you can logistically say, or in all fairness, say, no dogs on the soccer field at Kiwanis, but yet you've got them on the soccer fields at West River. In talking to Dennis, we're one of the few, if not the only town that allows anything except service dogs on our fields. So I very much, and Dennis has said, police have been down the beach, you've been down the beach, DPW has been down the beach, dogs are an issue on the fields, and I've owned many a dog, and, you know, attitudes are changing towards them, but they're still an animal. And they're an unpredictable animal. I've told people before I used to show my dogs, if anything, they probably would have drooled on you, but kids would come rushing and somebody would say, do your dogs bite? And I would say, all dogs bite. So Mike, if you're amenable, Maureen, I don't know how you feel, but I really would like to sharpen this up and clean it up. And we're not gonna get it sharpened or cleaned before Thursday, so I'd like to pass over.
Should have met weeks ago about this, because the way the wording, if they vote the way this reads right now, they don't pass it, dogs will be able to run everywhere.
Everywhere, exactly, and that's the danger.
And this was put in, this was actually written, the way it's written now. When Blythe was here, her husband, they put Kiwanis Beach, thinking, like I told you, Kiwanis Beach, you know, Kiwanis Beach. When they're finally gonna put up as president, what do you say Kiwanis Beach? It goes from the parking lot to Kiwanis Beach. Should say complex, like I told Joe, whatever, recreation, that's why I'm back here trying to change it the right way. I mean, word the right way. The only question I got now is they wanna do on May 30th, a frisbee thing. Down there. Can't have it. Dogs are be on a leash. We have a leash law and you can't be doing a frisbee thing.
Right.
The dog's gotta be off the leash.
Right, and we just changed the bylaw.
Guy was that, typed it on the email, I don't know who he is. The guy that was in the email, said we got an event going on May 30th.
Recreation Commission member.
Yeah, you can't have it because you have a leash law.
Right.
There's no special permit, leash law. I don't have a problem with
That to me would open a ton of liability for the town. We have a leash law, and if we allow somebody to come in with loose dogs, and God forbid something happens.
Well, that's wrong we're going. Now we're getting more kids down there. We checked licensing, the average household has 2 dogs. You know, people, dogs like kids do, I understand, I got 3, they wanna bring them everywhere. But somewhere, we gotta start worrying about who we're gonna, as a town, we're protecting at the beach. Because every time I go there for a call, you know, the gatekeeper or a lifeguard or one of the staff there, and I said, who's here? Just us, nobody there. There's no Maria. Every time we go, there's no Maria. When the other guy was doing it, at least on shit, I got there, he was there and we controlled the situation. Yeah. That's what happens. I'm the one that gets the phone call. You know, and what we do for that, I don't know. I'll have to do more during the summer, check on this more and more, that's all.
I mean, I think when we sit, you know, when you sit on the select board, you have to do what's best
Oh,
for
yeah.
the town, not for a certain class or, you know, dog owners, not dog owners.
Yeah.
But I see issues with this. I'd like to pull it and clarify.
Yeah, I think the way it's written is just saying they add on whatever subjects C or whatever, this adding on to it, subjects C, whatever, adding on to it.
But I don't want to try to do that on town meeting floor.
No, okay.
I think the prudent thing
No,
to
it's
do
just-
would be
it's just
to
meant-
pull.
Yeah.
Okay, right, so,
I just wanna make sure we're on the page where they wanna do some, soccer field. They can't do a frisbee thing, the dog's gonna be on a leash.
no, and no, they can't. I would agree with that. I'm sure the chief of police would. I don't know.
I mean, I think one of the main things is, the calendar always is a constant surprise for us. You know, Thursday is May 1st.
Yes,
In 2 months, 2.5 months, we're opening up the warrant for the fall.
right.
That still means we're talking about meeting again June, July to discuss language
Yes,
for an article. Yes, we can refine in August, but it closes right after Labor Day. So by pushing this off still means it's gonna be on our agenda pretty soon.
exactly. Probably one of the first meetings back.
I just wanna make sure that we're on the same page. The event's not gonna happen, like I said, keep on doing what I've been doing down there. You know, and addressing the situation, you know, but, you know, eventually we're gonna have to change it, it's gonna have to change, because, you know, parks, lounge, falling out, like a dog feces, people aren't picking it up. It happens, you know, people,
You
yeah,
will, yeah, I would think that you know,
And the money we
the thing
spend-
is, somewhere there has to be a check and a balance between what people are scheduling and our town bylaws, which don't allow it.
yeah, the money we
Well,
spent on
can I
a soccer
ask-
field last year was crazy.
Maureen like to say something, I believe.
Now, it's my understanding that rec department is in charge of the programs. The parks and fields and facilities, athletic facilities are the job of the DPW director. Is he still online? How does he feel about having dogs all over the field?
Yes, Dennis is. Dennis, what's your feeling about having dogs on the fields?
I was hoping he was going to skip me on this one, but
I would.
Blame Maureen, she's not even here. She saw you lurking in the background.
I know. So, yeah, 30 plus years I've been a public works professional in every community I've served. This has been a topic, and it has been a tough topic. Fortunately, I have been in communities that did exactly what I think we're gearing up to do, is to take a much harder look at the issue, and instead of just saying no dogs allowed on the fields or at the beach or in the cemeteries, and that's the end of it, we are going to take a look at, well, what can we offer? I know that in the last two communities I served, and I'm not suggesting that this is the answer for Upton, but it's certainly something that should go on the table for talking about, is we developed areas within town for dog parks. And Plymouth's was rather extravagant. Webster's was not. It was very simple. It was just a walking track. The point being that there was designated areas where people could bring their dogs. And then there was rules that were enforceable, that were, the Pooper Scooper law, where you had to clean up after your dog, and your dog had to be on a leash when you were walking them, so that there wasn't a problem. I agree, Madam Chair, with you that there's a lot more discussion that needs to be had here to get it something that's going to make sense, that we bring forward to the town meeting, that will be looked upon favorably, and show that we put due diligence into this and rolled up our sleeves and tried to come up with other ideas and other solutions to help the public that have dogs out there and don't necessarily have yards to take them for walks. And we know how important it is. But I digress. To go back to the question about how I feel about dogs in parks. So all of my staff has complained to me throughout the years of the nuisance that it causes for the dogs to be on the fields, because unfortunately not every dog owner is good about picking up after their dog. And a lot of dog owners leave stuff behind and don't really think twice about it. And my staff has to deal with that on a regular basis, as much as the geese, if not more. And so that has been brought to my attention by my staff repeatedly over the years. So definitely I am not in favor of having dogs on the fields, certainly not within cemeteries, and certainly not on the Kiwanis Beach area. It's just not something that I don't think it's sanitary. I don't think it's healthy. I think it's dangerous. I think there's liability involved. I think that we should be looking into something more appropriate for that.
I would agree with Dennis on that, because we all love dogs. It isn't that we don't love dogs, but it's not the place for them with all the children and families, and it's a huge liability. Plus they tear up the fields running around, and we have a leash law. I don't know how they, you can't go to the beach and let them loose.
One thing, through the chair, one thing that I have witnessed on the evolution of it in the different communities I've been a part of, is one of the things that communities have tried that doesn't work is to sometimes allowed in certain instances in certain places.
No.
It really is unmanageable. And I don't know how the dog officer would be able to even begin to enforce that or keep that under wrap. It just wouldn't work. It's either all or nothing.
I agree with Dennis.
I would agree too. I think if I'm not mistaken, we just spent a lot of money to repair that soccer field. And your thought, Dennis, on allowing a dog frisbee activity, other than the fact that it's against the leash law? Do you think that would harm the field?
Well, I think it's not just a harm on the field. I think it sends the wrong message too, because it's when you open up that door, then it's hard to close it again. And then, right afterwards, you're going to have people bringing dogs up there and say, well, I saw them up there last weekend. You had an event, you had dogs up there. I'm coming in with my dog. I'll be done in 5 minutes and I'm leaving. And then out comes the book of 1,001 excuses of why their dog is different in their situation is an exception. And it makes it, like I said, it goes back to being really unmanageable. There's just no way to really manage it. So I strongly believe it's all or none. Either allow it or you don't allow it. But if you don't allow it, you don't allow it sometimes in certain situations, in certain circumstances. I don't think that works. I think that's a recipe for disaster.
It is because you have people that are good about keeping their dogs off of all the parks and rec fields and all of that. And then all of a sudden they see someone coming in a Frisbee thing, and you can't make it for one and not the other.
I'd have to agree with that. So, all right, so, I think Joe, do we need a motion to put a hold on the article or?
I think it would be,
To pass
the
over.
board, you and Maureen could just vote to, that your recommendation to town meeting will be to pass over the article.
Okay. So moved. Do I hear a second, Maureen?
Second,
All in favor, roll call vote.
Maureen Cornell, I.
Laura have I. We'll pass over this article for town meeting. Okay. Thank you for coming in, Michael.
Yeah. Real quick thing.
Yeah.
We have one of the state, we have one of the biggest towns of state forests, it's Point Place, not gonna go. Don't let the people fool you. I go up there, state forest for problems too, but we're one of the largest towns of state,
More than a third of Upton.
yeah, we have huge. You really think we got tax money, obviously, on that, yeah. Big thing, but good. All right, so we'll work on that.
Yep.
Dennis.
Yeah, we'll get together before then.
Like I said, I read the wording, and they wanted, it didn't, because we vote, this state president voted in, all the leash law is gone.
Yeah, that would be an issue. We need,
Yeah.
we'll sharpen
I'll
it up.
go back,
Okay.
so, all right,
All right, thank you. Have a good night.
little beard. The Brit sign part, you have a little beard on,
I should.
yeah. All right.
See ya.
Scared how much gray actually shows up if I do that.
Not going there. All right, so the annual town meeting motions and presentation discussion.
So, I guess one of the main questions will be, especially for Maureen, I'm gonna assume both of you, and that Maureen will be, recovered and full of energy for town meeting.
I hope so.
Uh,
I'll be pretty lonely up there if not.
I hope so.
In the-
I don't like being sick.
In the board's packet is not only the motions, which the board was copied on an email I sent to Dave Laper because he raised a question with the motion. So
Okay.
these next 24, 36 hours, final refinement of the cards.
Okay.
So I have the motions. We're producing the cards. We haven't printed them yet. But I also, Sue worked on a motion assignments. Brett is not going to be at town meeting, so question ends up being, in this list, I'm just showing the hard copy for Laura. Out of the 47 articles, about 30 of them are the select board, so we can do it a couple ways. We can say, do
I
you
was gonna
want to
say,
just
Maureen,
one handle the first half, someone else take the second half?
Well, Maureen, I don't mind playing it by ear till Thursday night because the meeting, you were at the wedding. I couldn't speak. And Brett goes, what motions do you want to make? And I said, the ones with the fewest words, because
I
more
saw
than a
that.
sentence and I choked to death. So let's just play it by ear Thursday night.
I just, a recommendation, that I think, when I first got on the board, FinCom always did the omnibus article, all the stabilization articles and OPEB. I mean, let's share the wealth.
So this, I sent the packet linked back to like your Gmail. If you look through, you'll see we're spreading the wealth. So I already have it going to the FY26 budget, stabilization, capital stabilization, OPEB. So I already have that divided, and then CPC, Board of Assessors. So I'm trying to spread the wealth.
Okay.
Well,
So that's already.
I saw that, Joe, and I thank you for it. I just hope, I wanted to know if, Laura was on board with that too.
Absolutely. especially if I'm the only one there.
You might be.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope you're feeling better, but yeah, I think, Joe's spreading it out. I agree we should do it that way. I'll carry whatever I need to carry. If you can,
I'll
if
be
you're a warm body for support and that's all you manage to do, that's fine, as long as you don't contaminate anyone else.
Well, I'll
We'll be
put my
fine?
mask on if I'm still sick. I
Okay.
don't know, it just came on me and all of a sudden. I was going good this morning and then, man, I hit the wall.
Wow.
I don't know what it is.
So, we'll have these cards separated out, so, we are posted for 6:30.
Okay,
If, we may not need to, but if we want to open it and then whoever shows up, wants to take on a specific article, we can have that discussion.
okay.
Or if there's information in the meantime, something changes, because I know there's some attention being paid to the Holy Angels article.
Yes,
They did, at least will give us, we're posted, so if we need to react to something,
we can.
I'll be preparing to, and work with Laura on a slide within the articles, just, especially for that Article 27, Holy Angels, just to sort of state what the board's objective is with that article.
Yes, I think we need to clarify Article 27, Maureen. I don't know if you've noticed,
No,
but
I
it's
agree.
been all over Facebook. They're presenting it as this is an article to put the arts in there, and it's really an article to determine the structural integrity, period, end of discussion. I thought we've made ourselves clear in multiple meetings, but
I guess we
people
didn't.
have run with it, and I've read things and I've been like, wow, that's amazing, because I don't know that. But it is what it is. So Joe can clarify, and I think we'll be fine. I just don't want people voting against the money because they don't want the art center. We do not know what is going in there. We just need to know if the building's structurally sound.
There's a lot of things that have to be done to it and we need to have somebody look at it.
We need a number, because numbers change, and
Well,
6
they're
years is a
also
long time.
In that article, they were.
I wish I could buy a house that was priced 6 years ago. And I think that's the perfect example.
Yep.
So, okay. All right,
Okay.
well, that was easy. Okay, I honestly, my emails have been wacky. I did not see the minutes, so I apologize. So I think, Maureen, I'd like to pass on the minutes because I didn't see them come in. I don't know, well, that, my pants have been on fire with, the spring market has hit hot and fast
Yep.
at work. So, honestly, I
Good
said to
thing.
Joe earlier, if anyone's pants aren't on fire, I'm not paying attention to them. It just is what it is. Not in a bad way.
No, I don't mind passing over. We can do it at the next, or we could do it even Thursday night if you wanted to.
Okay, and, I think our next meeting is supposed to be May 6th, but that's the day of the election. So I'd like to move it to the following week, just kick everything 1 week. I think that's what we usually do. I don't think we usually meet election night.
Most towns don't.
So even
No.
though it would be scheduled the 6th, it would be the following week, which would be what,
be-
Joe?
13th,
So change our meeting to the 13th and the what?
27th.
On the 27th. I think that's a good idea.
You mean we're not gonna meet every week?
I think we've been here every week I think we have 1 week off since January.
Last
Seriously.
week.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I didn't know what to do with myself that one Tuesday because I was missing all of you. All right, so I think if we do it the 13th and the 27th, that's fine.
Yep.
Brett may be back.
Yep.
In full swing by then, so. Do I hear a motion to,
I'm off on the 29th, having appointment, so I won't have my news.
we appreciate it, we'll recruit Denise. Do I hear a motion to adjourn or
Before-
anything else? Joe?
Before, that motion for adjourn, because he is on the call, I would like to thank Dennis for stepping in and being the acting town manager for the last week. You know, the fact that I didn't get any emails or calls on anything, I know Dennis had everything locked down. And
I was gonna say,
Thank
Dennis, you were so spectacular. I didn't even realize you were doing the job.
I
He
went
wasn't
ahead.
telling anybody.
I didn't know.
So,
welcome.
well, Joe's doing a southern tour, you know,
You did an awesome job, Dennis, as
Thank you.
always.
absolutely spectacular. So now, Joe, we have to wonder, why was it so quiet while you were gone? Are you really the center of the tornado at all times?
maybe.
So, all right. Well, I want to thank everyone. Do I hear a motion to adjourn, Maureen?
I move that we adjourn our meeting.
I second the motion. Roll call vote.
Maureen Dwinell, aye.
Laura have I. Thanks, everyone. That's record time, 52 minutes. Woo.
Thank you for
Yep.
putting up with me.
Thank you. Feel better.